Hey, what's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and it's finally time. The mighty Thunderlord of old, the exotic heavy machine gun, has finally made its way into Destiny 2 and back into the hands of Guardians. You can actually pick this thing up from a quest line starting from Amanda Holiday right now, and in this video, we're going to be reviewing the Thunderlord, going over its perks, old and new, and getting out our thoughts on whether or not this exotic machine gun is worth the wait. Spoiler alert, yes it is. Well, first things first, let me apologize for the lateness of this video. It was actually supposed to go up on Wednesday, but I wound up having some trouble getting Thunderlord footage because I just couldn't get any purple bricks to drop in strikes. Hidden Juggler was shock blocking me pretty hard with this one. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. Alright, if you don't know how to get your hands on the Thunderlord, it's tied to a quest with Amanda Holiday right now. If you somehow manage to not pick up the murder mystery quest from Master Ives, you simply go and talk to Amanda Holiday. We're going to run you through it really quickly. If you haven't started it, this quest will take you no time at all. The first step will simply ask that you either decrypt 10 legendary or exotic engrams over at the Cryptarch, which of course if you've got enough legendary shards, about 250 to be exact, you can just buy 10 engrams from the Cryptarch and then turn them in that way. That'll get this done. If not, you can just head into the EDZ. You'll need to take out major fallen enemies, which really means you can do one heroic public event with fallen, something like the Glimmer Drill or the Spider Walker tank or the Servitor, and it should get you what you need to complete step 1. Once that's done, your next step will be to hit up 3 lost sectors within the Trostlands and the EDZ. You'll need to defeat the boss inside the Atrium, Terminus East, and the Widow's Walk. These are all within that first starting zone for the European Dead Zone with the Church. Once you've gotten that done, your quest will update and you'll need to complete the lost sector Whispered Falls within the outskirts. This is the lost sector near the back left side of the map up on the cliff. Go through it, take out the fallen boss, open up the chest, and you will have finished this part of the quest line. Next, you'll need to head back to Amanda Holiday where she'll task you with one more quest to complete. This quest will send you back to the Whispered Falls where you'll be transmatted to some familiar stomping grounds for Guardian veterans out there. That's right, we are indeed back in the Cosmodrome. Once you've taken in the sights and sounds, make your way through this mission, defeat the boss at the end, and when you've completed it, your last step will be to return to Amanda Holiday where she'll grant you an engram, and upon decryption of that engram, you will receive the Thunderlord exotic machine gun. That's pretty much it for the quest. The trip to the Cosmodrome is amazing. If you're somebody who started with D2 and you don't understand why so many people are excited about it, this was the starting zone for Destiny 1. It's a very special place for a lot of Guardians. And it was amazing to go back in there and see it all over again and hear some of the music that played, especially some of the Rise of Iron theme and the battle theme for Axis from Wrath of the Machine. It's just a great quest. But alright, now you've got your exotic heavy machine gun. The first of the heavy machine guns returned to Destiny 2. Is this thing worth it? Well, let's start off by taking a look at its perks. First up, the weapon's intrinsic perk is called Rain Havoc. Kills with this weapon generate lightning strikes from above. Next, we've got polygonal rifling for increased stability. Armor-piercing rounds, where these rounds will cause extra damage to combatant shields and over-penetrate targets, also slightly increases this gun's range. Next up, its special trait is Lightning Rounds. This is returning right from D1. This weapon fires faster and more accurately the longer the trigger is held. Continuous damage generates lightning strikes. And then finally, we've got another returning perk from D1, Feeding Frenzy. Kills with this weapon increase reload speed for a short period of time. So those lightning strikes from Rain Havoc are actually pretty interesting. They don't require precision kills to activate, but deal a decent amount of damage to surrounding enemies within a short radius. It's generally enough damage to kill a few surrounding red bar enemies, and it makes ad clearing with the Thunderlord an actual breeze. I've also noticed that the perk will proc after about 10 or so hits on a single target, thanks to the effects of the Lightning Rounds perk, which increases Thunderlord's rate of fire after a certain number of shots. This ability seems to be broken into 2 tiers. The first rate of fire increase seems to happen after about 17 shots, with the second occurring after 25 more shots, with an increasingly vertical recoil pattern. This ability is really powerful, but unsurprisingly, it drains ammo super quickly. Even with Thunderlord's 62 round magazine, you might recall that this was a major issue with the Thunderlord back in D1, but it can be solved via the use of something like Rally Barricade or Lunafaction Rifts, cutting out on that reload speed factor and turning the Thunderlord into an absolute DPS machine. You're still going to have to contend with somewhat low and clunky handling with the Thunderlord though. It's really not the kind of weapon you'll want to be using in close range encounters, but we'll cover more on that later. In PvP, Thunderlord does around 41 for precision damage and 30 to the body within optimal range. This means you can kill in 4 shots for an optimal time to kill of about 0.53 seconds, among the fastest in the game. Body shot wise, you're looking at 7 shots for around a 0.8 second time to kill, which is still highly competitive inside the current Crucible environment. But while these numbers certainly aren't bad, they are a little bit less than what the Thunderlord dealt in Destiny 1, where it hit for like 62 damage per crit and 50 per body shot. But you can still do some real work with Thunderlord in PvP, especially considering it can hit for a max damage up to about 57 meters, which is a huge amount of range for this thing. The Thunderlord is absolutely capable of shredding Guardians in the Crucible outside of super situations, though the 4-tap does feel a bit inconsistent at times, and because of this I think Thunderlord's precision damage could probably be a tiny bit stronger to more consistently 4-tap Guardians, while they can leave the body shot damage the way it is. Additionally, the heavy ammo box drops you 51 rounds for the Thunderlord, ensuring you'll have plenty of opportunities to use it when taking down Guardians. The amount of ammo that you get is actually a huge boon in PvP, since it potentially is enough to net you more than 10 kills if you're aiming perfectly, though that is of course pretty unlikely. I have noticed that this tends to allow for the possibility of snowballing in games, since the number of rounds you get can easily last you until heavy ammo spawns again. But the Thunderlord is still by no means an unbeatable weapon. Let's take a little bit of time to talk about why. This weapon has a huge effective range of 57 meters, but you really, and I mean really, only want to be engaging Guardians from around a minimum of about maybe 25 to 30 meters out. And the reason why is simple. It is super easy to get outgunned at close range with the Thunderlord, like ludicrously easy. Within close range, Guardians will be able to gap close and melt you down with a huge variety of weapons and abilities, and the Thunderlord is just a little bit too clunky and inconsistent to be able to fend them all off. Hip firing isn't great, and the handling will be a huge burden against shotgun rushing or Lunas at closer ranges. And because of that, this is definitely a gun you want to keep at mid-range and beyond, where it can be decidedly dominant. Additionally, its big ability of increasing rate of fire and increasing accuracy will hardly be felt in PvP, since encounters generally won't last long enough for you to be able to take advantage of lightning rounds. Every now and again you'll pull off a crazy triple or quad feed if enemies stack up, but generally speaking it's just not felt much here. Finally, despite Thunderlord's power, it's really not great for shutting down supers. You don't do nearly enough damage to stop a striker or an arc strider barreling their way towards you, and there are better exotics for that job like the Legend of Acreus, Tractor Cannon, 1000 Voices, etc. But PvE? Ooh, PvE is where it's at with the Thunderlord. Thunderlord is amazing in the PvE aspects of Destiny 2. It's capable of one-shotting most red bar enemies, sending lightning crashing through hordes of Thrall, Dregs, or whatever, and its sustained DPS against Majors and Ultras is nothing to sneeze at. Thanks to lightning rounds, every 10 or so shots you put into a single enemy cause those lightning strikes from Rain Havoc to pump the DPS up while also increasing rate of fire and accuracy. You get a total of 220 rounds with Thunderlord, which is a great amount of ammo, but it does still feel like it runs out quickly thanks to the lightning rounds perk. Feeding Frenzy helps with this, but you'll see its greatest potential by pairing it again with something like a Titan's Rally Barricade or the Warlock's Lunafaction Rift. But despite these options, running dry on heavy ammo is still a huge lingering problem in D2, and you'll run out of it quick with the Thunderlord, believe me. The sustained DPS you can have with Thunderlord is truly insane, dealing massive amounts of damage to enemies and bosses so long as you can maintain precision hits. And the feeling of tearing through an entire room of enemies with the rippling power of thunder fulfills a power fantasy calling way back to the days of old in Destiny 1. The only real issue here is constantly running out of power ammo in PvE. To me, it feels like this weapon was made for heavy ammo sense, like what we had back in D1, and you'll find yourself hurting for those purple bricks a lot in PvE. Hopefully the drop rates for those see a buff with the heavy ammo finder perk in the future, because right now if you stack more than one of that perk, it basically drops your chances to 0, and believe me, you're going to want more heavy ammo bricks dropping with Thunderlord. It's just too fun and useful of a gun not to use. And its utility in a bunch of different situations is great. It's great for ad clearing, it's great for single target damage. There's a lot of places where Thunderlord works really well in PvE, and it's just kind of a shame that you don't get to use it as much as you might like. But alright, overall, Thunderlord is an amazingly fun weapon that is more than worthwhile for Guardians to go and get right now. The quest is quick and easy, so you might as well hop into it. And while it's not going to be the best overall PvP weapon, it definitely works well provided you can manage range and don't get caught off guard. And in PvE, well, it's not going to completely replace something like Whisper of the Worm or 1000 Voices, but its ability is really powerful, ranking it among the best and most fun exotics currently in the game. Go and get it, Guardians. Let that thunder roll. But alright, those are my opinions on the Thunderlord exotic machine gun, the first machine gun brought into Destiny 2. What are yours? Do you have the Thunderlord? How do you feel about this gun in PvE and PvP? Be sure to let us know all those things down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. That's going to be it for this one, Guardians. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.